Hi, my name's Chris, Dr. Christine Murphy for formalities only. I'm very late in the day to be saying hi, but I'm figuring just as bad as I am, you guys are probably now just getting to the point where you're thinking, oh my God, I'm about to do this intensive and I haven't really done what I needed to do, and now all of a sudden I'm realising that I've got a lot of stuff to do in a very short period of time. Oh my God, and I'm the same. Okay, so now that we can collectively have a little panic together, I should assure you that in fact I have done my preparation very well, but I did mean to try and make contact with you by video before now. However, better late than never for those of you who get to say hello to me on the video. So what I'm going to do first is just remind you of the course that you're about to do, and it's the formal name is BUA5RL, and the RL stands for Responsible Leadership with LaTrobe University, and we're going to be all meeting together at Shepparton's campus, which I'm really looking forward to seeing again. Well, not so much the campus again, never been there, but I've certainly been to Shepparton many times in my life when I was formerly working as a CEO and having many projects happening out of Shepparton. And I can tell you more about all of that if you're interested when I see you. And in the meantime, let's get back to all of the things we need to know. Now, the first day, which is Friday, this Friday, only a couple of sleeps away, we're going to meet at 10 a.m., which is a late start, but it's accommodating for us all getting to Shepparton if that's not where we originate from. So it allows us to travel in the morning, and I'll just take this bracelet off because it's banging everywhere, making a noise. So yes, we're going to meet before 10 o'clock though. Try and be in the classroom by 9:30. Now your details should all be on the LMS system for you, so you shouldn't have any problems. And if you do, then if I'm there early enough, because I'm arriving in the morning as well from Melbourne, I'll leave some signs. But you might beat me there. You never know if I've got a flat tire or something. But I will try and leave some signposts to say, here we are. Anyway, there's only a few of us. I think last count there were 7 students. So if anyone's thinking of having a sickie, don't, because I'm relying on all 7 of you to turn up so we can make it a good class, because we've got lots and lots to cover, but it will be fun. Now, if you've only just read your course guide, you will have probably just settled down after having a small heart attack, because you will note that there is in fact a pre-course. It's down on the floor, excuse me. A pre-course assignment. Yep. And there it is. See that one there? Look it up if you haven't seen it already, because you'll be sort of slightly having a panic about now. This is worth 10%. Now, don't scoff at 10%, because 10% is going to be money for jam for you to set you up for the rest of your course. And of course, I'll explain more about why this is important, but it is critically important that you have worked on this little project before you come, and that you do bring a hard copy with you and lodge it online as well. And there's a link on your LMS to upload the electronic copy. But the most important thing for Friday morning is to bring along the hard copy. I need that. Okay, I'm just having a cup of tea. did I introduce myself? Yes, I did. I did. All right, so let's just have a look at this first assignment because that will be on your mind. And the first assignment says, we need to read the following article. This one here. Now, this one is by Robert Newcomb, and the title of this is From Client to Project Stakeholders, a stakeholder mapping approach. And what we're asking you to do is to use the mapping that has been identified in this article. So you have to read the article. And here's one of the matrices that he uses to clarify and segment stakeholders in two different ways, one by predictability and the other by level of interest. Now, there are only 2 by 2 quadrant, what do we call them? Tables, for want of a better word. And these two here are what we're asking you to do with 2 blank ones of the same, looking exactly the same except empty, for you to have a look at a particular current situation, a live case, on the West Gate Tunnel project. Now, this is very interesting because it's current, it's ongoing right now, and there's plenty of good information on there for you to answer these 2 and complete these 2 matrix. Quite interesting little project. So let's just talk you through it. So the first thing is that it's read the article, and there's only 7 pages. I mean, yes, it's a journal article, so it's less easy than, say, Harvard Business Review, but it's not that hard, guys. You're in a master's degree. So next, once you've read it, you then do a desktop research on the West Gate Tunnel project. Now, I just did a quick Google before, and just to see if there's any further updates, and I got 2 different sites which I thought would probably provide me with all the information I needed. One was entitled Research into the West Gate Tunnel Project, and the second one I did was on stakeholders in the West Gate Tunnel project. And that was interesting because it highlights here some of the stakeholders that were consulted, and you can have a look at that and go, oh, gee, they missed such and such, or have another look at different views that you'll see on researching just on the desktop easily. Some great, it's controversial at the moment because they've walked off the job, and there's all sorts of issues about who are the primary stakeholders, who's pressuring who, who do we need to satisfy. Now, there's just based on the article by our friend Robert Newcomb, I should say, then we'll have enough information for you to do this fairly basic desktop research and to complete these 2 matrix, these 2, okay? You'll finish those, you'll bring those with you, and also what you will do is you'll write half a page or so, 500 to 600 words, so it's probably a page, a synopsis about describing those key stakeholders for Transurban and why you think they're the key ones, okay? Look, see this as a really great intro, because when you get into class with me, during the morning, we're going to obviously address the article and address your work. Okay, and you can talk about it together, and you've all got something in common that you've started off. So you're not just all sitting there on day 1, first thing in the morning going, I was supposed to read something. It just means because it's an intensive mode, means that we've got to kind of squash in a whole 3 months worth of information and reading in interesting ways, getting those really key pieces together And this allows us to get off on the ground running, as opposed to spending half to a day wasting time getting you up to speed. You've already done some of that, so we're at least kind of halfway focused, or even fully focused when we get in. Good idea, and you get 10% for the work. So we all benefit from this, and so don't panic. It's not that hard. You can do something and lodge something by 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm absolutely confident, even if you started right now. Okay? Just say to your friend or your partner, listen, I've just realised I still haven't finished some work that I need to do to prepare for Friday. Okay, so number one. So, okay, that's a nice welcome, isn't it? Hey? We'll start off. I've got a really, really interesting 4 days planned. It's an interesting topic anyway, responsible leadership, and so much to cover. And be mindful all the way through each day and post the 4-day intensive of what's going on right now. We've got the coronavirus. How is that playing out in terms of responsible leadership, in terms of stakeholder management, in terms of values-based leadership? There's so much that you can be kind of relating your reading to what's going on in front of you, right in front of our noses right now. So it's exciting from that perspective. I'm just looking, we will run through, if I've got my plans. Yes, I do, I think I do. No, that's not it. We've got 4 days that I've completed. Here it is. And if I take us through very briefly, naturally enough, you'll have questions. We've got a guest on Saturday, on day 2, from the area, whom I'm really excited for you to meet. And apart from that, you've just got yours truly, but I do a lot of intensives, have done over the years, both here and overseas, and I've got a bit of a formula around keeping people from falling asleep. Okay, you shouldn't feel exhausted in the afternoons, because I'll make sure it's not only interesting but fun, but also highly educative and useful. So day 1, we're going to be looking now. I must impress on you the importance of you doing the reading. Quite apart from the fact that we have a quiz every morning to test your recollection, but also I use the opportunity each morning, or yes, at least before lunch, of you in a circle discussing the reading. So you do need to have something to say, because we do take it in turn. And so you don't want to look like you haven't done the work. And, don't grizzle. It is masters, and you've got it, both the advantage of knocking over the whole, coursework content in 4 days, which is, it's pretty slick. I mean, you've still got all of the work of your group, etc. afterwards, but the actual coursework itself is done and dusted in 4 days. So that does require you to invest, really invest, because it certainly will show if you haven't. That's not a threat. It's just a reality that if you can't converse about what you've read, your voice is missing, and in a very small group, that is quite obvious. So in other words, pressure is on that you do your reading. So when you finish each day, come home, pop your feet up, and get going. Start reading for the next day, if you haven't already done it. A little story. I thought, I teach, of course, but I went and did a really exciting course at Harvard. I was accepted in, and I was really excited and really scared. And this was only a couple of weeks, it was 2018. And anyway, I get in there, and of course I read everything. I have read everything, and the problem was that I peaked too early. I'd forgotten pretty much when they started talking about it. I'm thinking, which one was that? Where is it? So it's okay, in fact, to read just before the class itself, because at least it's nice and fresh in your mind and not like me and think, oh, I read it and I can't remember a thing. Might have just been stage fright, mightn't it? It was, after all, Harvard. It was pretty scary. All right, so each day, as I say, I will give you the night before the next day. I'll give you sort of a heads up on what we're going to be doing the following day and what you need to prepare overnight. Unless you're absolutely dead or dying, I expect you to turn up and turn up on time, and I'll promise you that it's going to be energetic and you won't feel like falling asleep. You won't be bored. Promise. Promise, promise, promise. Okay, well, look, there'll be 1,000,001 questions, and I am online if you want to ask me anything that can't wait until the Friday morning at 10 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm going to say to you, looking forward to meeting you all. Welcome. Don't stress too much. Do that pre-work. You do need to do that. That's important. It's a prerequisite for the second part of the first assignment. So, gotta do it. And no notes from Mum. Dog ate my homework. All right. So it's Chris Murphy signing off. See you Friday. Bye for now.